I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money. We're going to finish it up this coming Saturday because it's a short game. I'm interested to see how it goes. All right? Cool. Now we got to talk about Tony Hawk. Oh, boy. I know some people are not going to be very happy about this one. To be honest, I'm not happy about this one. I'm not happy about how the Tony Hawk stream went yesterday for various reasons. So I want to talk with you guys about it, all right? Revar, I don't know what you're talking about. No tip has come through from you. Any tips that come through, I get notified. There's only been one tip this morning, and that was from Final Fantasy Tactics fan. So you did not send a tip that went through. I'll tell you right now, you didn't. All right? So if you keep spamming the chat saying that, I'm going to moderate you because you're not being truthful at all. Okay. So, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 from yesterday. This was the first time that I had played a Tony Hawk game in 5 years. To be frank and clear and transparent, I've never played Tony Hawk before the collection of 1 and 2 5 years ago. So I didn't know anything about the series. When I started playing it back in 2020, I sucked at it. Okay? I did. I completely and utterly sucked at it. It took me a few streams, I'd say 2 to 3 streams, and then it finally clicked. And I started to understand how to play the game. And once I did, I started playing much better to the point where then I was nailing all of the point challenges. I was finding all the hidden items, and I was basically mastering the game. And then by the end of that playthrough, which lasted I think it was 12 plus hours, I ended up completely acing the game, unlocking every stage, including the final hidden stage. Okay. And even hitting all the objectives in that one. So the funny part was I started off absolutely sucking butt. I did. I sucked butt at it. But by the end, I was doing really well. And this, of course, completely upset my trolls because they were hoping that this was going to be a game that I was just going to fail at miserably. But instead, it ended up being the opposite. It was a game that I did fail at, but then I learned that I ended up persevering and doing well at. They don't like that. You know, their narrative is always that I'm terrible at every game I play. So to see me actually learn a game on the fly and get good at it, they couldn't handle that, and they upset them big time. Now, the problem was with the playthrough. It started off interesting, but within 2-3 streams, interest had fallen off for the game. And by the time that I finished it, I stuck in there and finished it because I liked it. But definitely the support and everything for the game had fallen off, and people weren't that interested in it anymore. By the end, they were saying it was too repetitive. It's the same gameplay over and over. The gameplay loop wasn't very interesting. The only real difference is that you see a different stage. That's it. That they didn't really like it that much, okay? So when Tony Hawk 3 and 4 was announced, I said, man, I'm really excited for the game because I loved Tony Hawk 1 and 2, but I'm skeptical about how this is going to perform as a playthrough, knowing how that went 5 years ago. Well, people convinced me, oh no, Phil, you've got to play it. It's going to be on Game Pass, so you don't have to invest any money in it. We're going to love this playthrough. We want to see a shred again. 5 years later, let's do it. And a lot of people even said Tony Hawk 3 and 4 are the best games in the series. Other people kind of countered that and said, no, actually 1 and 2 are. I don't know. I've never played them, right? So I don't have the answer to that. But everyone's saying, we want to see Phil play it. We cannot wait. And so the hype and anticipation was big. I even put it into my frame. If you saw my animations for this month, I have Tony Hawk skating on there. I'm like, all right, we're excited for it. And then something happened that was completely unexpected and out of left field. I was unable to stream for a whole week. And that almost never happens, right? It's a rarity. And it happened, and it screwed everything up because I was supposed to play Tony Hawk that week, and I wasn't here. And I announced to everyone when I came back from this unannounced, unintended break, I said, so guys, now we're behind on everything. If I'd been here, we probably would have gotten much further in certain games and maybe even wrapped up some stuff. And we would have been good in that regard, all right? But now we're behind. So I can't start playing a new game until we start getting further or wrapping up other playthroughs, all right? And And so that's exactly what happened is I ended up just playing Donkey Kong Bonanza, but that was it. I didn't play anything else new. We just focused on GTA 4 with mods, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Death Stranding 2, and then my chill streams for this pretty much whole month, right? So finally, we started to take some games out of the rotation like Mario Kart World and stuff like that. So it gave me the opportunity to start finally playing some new games, right? And so I said this week I would play Ludo and Tony Hawk. Ludo we already talked about. Tony Hawk premiered yesterday, okay? So basically, 3 things happened yesterday that kind of upset me in regards to the Tony Hawk stream. The first thing that upset me is, sadly, my age started to show. You might say, well, what do you mean by that? Well, as I was playing Tony Hawk yesterday, which, by the way, is a very control-intensive game, at any given moment, you need to be able to use both thumbsticks, both triggers, all of the face buttons with various combinations of face buttons and the thumbsticks, while also aiming and using the triggers to do the, I can't remember what they're called when you land, verts, not verts, right? Something, whatever it's called. But basically, it's a lot of button inputs and a lot of controls. It is, okay? By the time that stream was about to end, so I played it for almost 4 hours, my hand was actually throbbing in pain. Notably, my thumb was actually completely stiff and hurting me. And that's not good. That's a sign that I'm getting older and that if I'm going to play games that are more control intensive, this could be an ongoing problem that I have to face. And I have to just accept the fact that I am getting older. I'm 43 years old. You know, I'm not 20 anymore. And playing a game like that actually hurt my hand. Okay? That pisses me off. I want to be able to say, hey, I can do whatever I want, play whatever I want, as long as I want, and I can do well, and I can adapt, and I can persevere. And by the end of that stream, I was actually very disappointed in myself. I was like, this sucks. You know, like this is the first sign I feel that as I get older, I'm not going to just be able to do whatever I want. There's going to be difficulty playing certain kinds of games and things like that. Okay? So that was number 1 thing that disappointed me. The number 2 thing that disappointed me was the trolling. And what I mean by that is the trolls came out in a very large amount of force to mess with this playthrough. Now, it's not like they don't do that anyway, but in particular, yeah, what's happened is the trolls always like to have a game where they feel like I'm going to fail and rage at it, and then they make that the game that they can clip farm and they can do toxic things about. And this, man, let me tell you, on the kick side of stuff, whole bunch of accounts show up all screaming, we hate this game sucks, this is boring, stop playing it. On the YouTube side of things, they view-botted the stream, so it was impossible to even know how many viewers that I had for Tony Hawk. Is it actually doing really good with viewership, or is it not doing that well at all, and all these viewers are fake? And the thing is, with the view-botting, you can figure it out, but only after the stream is ended. Once the stream is ended, once you look at your stream like stats and results, YouTube subtracts all the view bots. So you can actually see, oh, okay, this is really how the stream did. So in general, just so you guys know, because you're probably wondering, the stream did do well, but not crazy. It did a little bit more than my usual viewership. Like typically on a typical stream on YouTube, I'll have 200, 300 viewers. I think this stream maybe had around 350 viewers all the way through. And that was for legit viewers, not the bots. The bots were ridiculous, like hundreds and hundreds of them. But I can't stop that. You know, that's just some malicious idiot doing it. It doesn't affect me in any negative way on YouTube, for the record. It doesn't. But these idiots like to mess around and think that it does. It just sucks because I couldn't tell how many people were legit on the stream. And we're hanging out and enjoying it, okay? Now, I will say this. On the YouTube side of things, there absolutely were people who were engaged and trying to help me with the game. They were giving me tips on how to play. They were telling me where hidden items were, and I really appreciated that. That helped me out a lot, okay? The third and final reason that it bothered me is very simple. It's premiere day of a game that people have been asking me for nonstop and apparently highly anticipating, and we didn't even hit a support goal. And this really threw my whole plans for a loop because I was hoping to hit a goal yesterday, a goal last night, and a goal right now. and then we would have done DSP tries it. In fact, think of it this way. If we had hit that support goal on the Tony Hawk stream, all we would have needed to do was hit the goal right now, and we would be doing DSP tries it today. I'm shocked that it's the new big game that everyone screamed at me to play. So disappointed I didn't play it on release day. I finally get to it, and we can't even hit a support goal. That's ridiculous. Okay, I'm just being honest. That's ridiculous. We hit support goals every time I play American Truck Sim. We hit support goals every time I play Death Stranding 2. But we can't hit a support goal for Tony Hawk? Really? So if anything, it's just like everything combined to make this a shitstorm of disappointment. All right? So, you think to yourself, well, what should I do in regards to this playthrough? Number one, I don't even know if I'm going to get through it because when I play it, my hand is killing me. Number two, are the trolls just going to keep showing up to ruin these streams and make it a miserable experience for everyone involved like they tried to do yesterday? And number three, every time that I play this game, am I not going to hit support goals? That's ridiculous. Right now, there's quite a lot going on, and there's quite a lot of games that are vying for my attention, right? Right now, we've got the RoboCop expansion that came out a couple of weeks ago that people are like, hey, you going to play it? We really liked your RoboCop playthrough from like a year and a half ago. We'd like to see you play this brand new expansion. Plus, I'd be playing it on PC, which means it probably would run better and be a better experience. So that's number one. What about, as we've already mentioned, Suikoden 2, which I promised you guys I would do during the summer. And it seems like JRPG fans are very excited for this, and they want to see me play it. What about some other new games that are coming out? For example, I guess there's this game, Lost Soul Aside. I don't even know anything about it, but now people are starting to ask me about it. And then on top of all of that, I keep frequently getting asked, will you play this game on PC? Will you play this indie game? Will you play this game? Unlike previous summers where things are so slow, because I used to be reliant directly on game releases to basically fuel my streams. Now, things have changed. People are actually showing up for the more chill content, for the things where we get to hang out and interact more. People want to have more time just interacting with me. It doesn't even matter what game I'm playing. And if I end up playing a game that's very intensive and I need to pay attention to it the whole time, it might not even do as well because people came to talk to me. And if they can't talk to me, well, then that's disappointing, right? So there you go. Things are changing, and I think for the better. I would much rather have it be that you guys are coming here to hang out with me and have a good time than particularly for any given game. Now, I'm not saying that it's not going to be cool if you guys come by because you want to see me play a Soulsborne or Street Fighter or Call of Duty or an RPG or a AAA game that's a big release. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I definitely feel like now people are coming to the streams to have a social experience with me, which is great. I would much rather have it that way because it used to be, oh, the summer is dead. There's no big games coming out. And then we'd be like, what do we do? Panic mode. What do we do this week? Because there's nothing to do. Oh, no, now we're slow. Remember I used to say the summer was slow for income and views and everything, and it would be the slowest part of the year. And I mean, please support me because things are so slow. It's not like that. It's actually the opposite. Things have gotten good. The summer's great. This has been a really great summer. So I'm excited for the future, not being reliant on game releases anymore, seriously. But with all of these things that are competing for my time, right? I can't just say, well, we're going to play Tony Hawk just because. Even though it hurts my hand, the trolls are going to mess with the playthrough the entire time I play it, and it's not even going to make any money for me because it's not going to hit the goal. Why would I do that? All right? So it's a pretty simple situation. Here's the situation. Unless somehow people convince me otherwise, all right, I think Tony Hawk is done. I don't see the point in continuing a playthrough where people overhyped it, and then when I played it, it didn't perform at all the way that people had said it would. Okay? Not to say that I don't like it. I do actually like it. I think that I would get better at it, just like the first game. Over time, 2-3 streams, I'm going to get better at it. I'm going to start crushing all the point totals. I'm going to figure out how to actually link all the tricks together. And then it's going to be a playthrough where, oh, the trolls don't like it anymore because Phil's doing well. right? We don't like those playthroughs where Phil actually does well and doesn't rage. We wanted the playthrough where Phil sucks ass and fails miserably, and then we all laugh at him. Well, likely it's not going to be that kind of playthrough in the long term, right? So the question is, do you guys really want to see Tony Hawk again? And if so, what happened yesterday that you didn't show up to support it? And what do we do to remedy the situation moving forward? Right now, I'll tell you right now, I'm not putting Tony Hawk in the schedule. Unless you guys convince me otherwise, I don't see this working. I would much rather next week focus on all the games that I'm already playing. GTA 4, Death Stranding 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, make massive progress in all three of those games. Maybe play them each 2 streams, so that way we'll probably get near the end of GTA 4 if that's the case. We'll get almost to the final third of Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Death Stranding 2 also will head into the second half. We'll be making good progress in each. Then the next new game to be added to the schedule would be Mafia, and we would juggle all of those for early August. Then when opening happens in the schedule, we decide, hey, is it going to be RoboCop? Is it going to be Suikoden 2? And that's how we proceed. I don't see the point in playing Tony Hawk again, unless you guys can tell me why. What I saw yesterday was that all the hype was just that. It was all hype and no substance. People did not show up and engage in support with the game in the way that they claimed they were going to. And on top of that, it was a game where I was suffering through pain to even play it. So why am I going to continue to do that to myself? Okay? So let's see what happens. I love feedback, and I would love to see, hey, are you going to show up if I play Tony Hawk again? Are you going to put support where your mouth is so that it makes sense for me to continue to play it? Because I'm not going to have it be the game that we can't hit a goal. That's ridiculous. Okay? Okay. Now, one other thing.